Welcome everyone to episode 297 of Aussie Tech Heads on the 5th of July 2012, and we're raring to go. Will's talking about his tax return. Hey Will, how you doing?
Hey, how we doing? Yeah, I'm just having my own conversation in the chat room. Just work around me.
All right. So it is that time of the year. The tax returns are flying in. Now I've heard that once again there's no e-tax lodging on the Mac. The software is not available. Still, the tax office doesn't seem to really care. But apparently, late news is, and I did write this down. I haven't actually looked there, but just late news is there's a program or a site called, it was Wine something. If anyone can help me out, someone just told me this afternoon. It's called Wine Skim. Wine Skin. Have a look at that one. It's got something to do with lodging your tax return for a Mac. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get the show started. Welcome to the Lounge. The Lounge always joins us live. .thesecrethub.com every Thursday night at around about the 7:30, 7:40 mark for the show live recording, which then is posted up on YouTube at video.aussietechheads.com.au. And also, if you want to join in the show live and have a chat to us, its Skype handle is Aussie Tech Heads, and paper.aussietechheads.com.au. And also thanks to Brad and the gang from techwebcast.info. For allowing us to replay their show, just to get you guys into the mood on the live stream just before the live recording of the show. So cheers, guys. All right, and in the wings as well as Will, we have Eric. Hello, Eric.
Hi, mate. How you going? Hello, everyone.
Good, thank you. Did you watch the game last night? State of Origin, of course, I'm talking about.
I did indeed, and once again, refereeing not good.
Yes, I haven't read any. Haven't read any of the New South Wales papers, but I guess is this the Shepherd try?
The Shepherd, not a try.
Well,
among other things,
never a try.
More than just that,
Yeah, so who knows what's going on with that? But anyway, that's all said and done. It was 1 point, so good on the Queenslanders. 8 in a row. It's there. 7 in a row. Jeez, it's not going to get to 8. Let's get sorted. Never going to get to 8. All right. So, if anyone out there wants to contact us and send us an email, you can Glenn, Will, or Eric with a K at aussietechheads.com.au. We'll give you our Twitter. The Twitters will come up on screen, or we'll give those to you later at the end of the show, towards the end of the show. Big news tonight. Big launch tonight. New thing happening. But we might as well get into that straight away. Is that all right with you guys?
Go for it.
Yeah, have fun.
Oh, good, thanks.
It's your baby.
All right. So through the week, I've been working on this for a little while, and so I'm pleased to announce that now you can sign up with us and get some. Well, that's not a very good graphic, is it? But you can get some hosting. I've sorted it all out. I've put up hosting, web page hosting, and domain registration and transfers, so you can get it all sorted with the good old Aussie Tech Heads. And so I've got a couple of plans. I thought we'd just go through them to tell you what it's all about. So if you don't know what web hosting is, well, what it is every web page has to have a host somewhere. And the good thing about our hosting, is that you can actually install what they call scripts or certain programs to get you up and running straight away, like WordPress, Joomla, if you're familiar with some of those. You just hit one click install, and it installs it up on your space. You navigate to your URL or your domain name that you've just registered for, and there you go. It's all there. There's a front end which the public sees, and a back end which you see, which you go through and publish it, put the content in there, provide the content for it. So if you want to have a look at the hosting, it's at hosting.aussietechheads.com.au. So
and of course, it allows for blogging and things like that as well.
It does. Yes, it does. Well, WordPress is that. Yeah, that is the blog. There's e-commerce installations. Look, if I can get you into I'll give you another couple of. I'll see if I can capture this page here.
Just for the benefit of the people listening, where can they go to find all about it?
Yeah, they can go to hosting.aussietechheads.com.au. So there you go. That's right. So So look, part of the service is anywhere from a small little account from 500 meg, $5.99 a month, and business accounts $9.99 a month, which gives you a pretty huge 4 gig of web space and 30 gig traffic. So look, that's for a fair size web page, like 4 gig of web space. Like, web pages are in generically and the small everyone aims to have it. The smaller web page the better, because that's faster to load. So 4 gigs a hell of a lot of space there. You'd have to be running some sort of massive database, maybe. Geez, a lot of survey results or something, but it'd have to be a fair bit. But
a question, Glenn.
Yes,
I'm assuming that on the pages that you post there, and I'll tell you why I'm asking this question. Are you able to embed YouTube videos on the sites that you create on your hosting thingy?
Yes, you are. So what happens is, so if you've loaded up your WordPress software up to the site, and then instead of you don't host the video on the site, you could if you wanted to, but you'd soon run out of
you'd run out of
space.
That was my next thing, because Marzi on the chat just said he needs videos to host. He needs a site to host his videos, but he'd rip through that bandwidth straight away. Marzi, you're better off hosting up to YouTube, because the bandwidth is free.
Yep.
And embedding the video into the website hosted by Glenn, and that way you will not chew through your bandwidth, but people still get to see videos.
That's and just bear in mind too, there's more than just YouTube. If you don't want to give all your details to Google, because some people don't.
Fair enough.
There's Vimeo, there's Monster, there's a whole heap. Even Facebook these days has video support. So, anything you can that has an embed code, you can use.
Yeah. So, and the good thing about it is, because we're all a bit of a good little community here. Like you don't want the YouTube logo coming up on your videos. Hey, send me an email. I'll tell you where to host it for free, and use someone else's bandwidth. And then, as Eric said, just link to it, embed it, whatever you want to do. But there's heaps of options out there. Look, even if you were to host your site over in the US. US have generically and pretty much they've got bigger plans, because the data transfer is cheaper and all that sort of stuff over there. Even if you were to host over there, if your site become popular, you would still smash through that bandwidth if you're hosting videos. And plus, even
on your own site,
that's right. And even so, because this is shared hosting. This is this is the same as shared hosting wherever it is around the world. There's limitations on, say, like when we first started doing the podcast, it was only 40 meg, but no one was getting the full file, because I was putting it up on a shared host. Because unlimited disk space, unlimited bandwidth. I went, oh yeah, this will be cool. This will host everything. But everyone could not download the full 40 meg file, because the server was timing out. I was using too much of the server space, so and the server processing. So they limit it. So you got to host your media off site, YouTube, wherever else that was just mentioned before, or send me an email. We'll get something sorted. But sign up there. You can sign up, register your domain name, transfer your domain name. There's one-click installs of different stuff. It's through the softer Q. I can't even say. I just call it Soft Delicious. That'll do. But it's all through a control panel, which is called cPanel. And so it's all pretty good. You get FTP accounts, databases, add-on domains, park domains, subdomains. There's heaps of stuff there. OpenX, MyBB, which is a bulletin board you can hook up, throw up there, instantly accessible to the world. You just tidy up the back end with your name and, contacts and all that sort of stuff. Lime Survey, I've used Lime Survey. That's an excellent little script that you can put up there. That is a very, very powerful survey tool, which has got very, very intricate and great logic. So, like as you go through the surveys, if A equals B, and then if the guy didn't pick C on the question before, then it would skip to question D up here, only if question A 3 questions ago was answered. So it's that Lime survey is great. That is very, very intense, shall we say. Magento, online shopping cart. No more to be said about that. And Joomla, WordPress, and Drupal, they're all content management systems. Joomla is what the Aussie Tech Head sites run off. So it's all good. It's all good.
Well, I'll be coming across with a few of my sites, Glenny.
Oh, good stuff.
No worries.
Good stuff.
No worries.
And there's also always support. There's ticketed support. You just sign, send us the ticket away, and if you've got any problems, I'll answer it. Easy. So good stuff. So hopefully go and have a look at that, hosting.aussietechheads.com.au, and as the year progresses, there'll be more stuff coming. I've got more plans, more stuff. So stay with us. All right. Let's any other questions? with that, no. I think that's probably covered just about everything, isn't it? Oh, thanks for Cam, who road tested it. He signed up and gave me some feedback on the whole thing. He said it was an easy process, 5-minute process. PayPal, sweet as, easy peasy, Japanesey.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so if there's a domain name we don't have there to register, shoot me an email and we'll go and get it.
That's the other thing.
We'll go and get
what payment credit cards do you accept?
Whatever PayPal does.
Oh, okay, so that'd be Visa, MasterCard.
Yep.
Whatever.
So it's just a PayPal gateway at this stage.
Right.
I don't think there's any real need to go to the like NAB gateway or anything like that. Maybe if I was smashing the accounts, like getting 1,000 a week, maybe the PayPal fees might be a bit too expensive. Then I might look at other alternatives. But no, it's all PayPal, just PayPal, and or instant setup. So as soon as you pay, your account's set up. As soon as you pay, your domain pretty much is set up. Transfer domain depends on where it's already at, but it probably doesn't really take too much longer than 24 hours. Mine normally, when I've transferred before, they're only half 2 hours, something like that. They're not long at all. But yeah, it's all there. So if you ever wanted to have your own web page, even with e-commerce, you just learn how to use the software. It's free. You just learn how to use it, and away you go. Away you go.
Excellent.
All right, but the other real reason that we're here tonight is to go through the news stories of the past week. And so, yes, the State of Origin we've mentioned, but also a birthday. Oh, and something we didn't mention last episode, was iPhone birthday, 5 years old. So
5 years, yeah.
Happy belated birthday to the iPhone. And this week,
that's right.
So this is just quick. It's just ABC's 80th birthday. ABC, Australian Broadcasting Corporation, 80 this week. So
80.
80.
Yeah, and Kerry O'Brien's been there from the beginning.
Yeah, he probably has too. Oh, look, I've got there we go, little birthday ABC. Whee. Yeah, so, look, over the years, a lot of good shows on the ABC, and I'm sure there's a lot more to come. All right, let's get started into some chunky stories. I don't know, does anyone have any preference where to start?
You start.
Oh,
go.
Let's just start with Microsoft, shall we? Because it's a bit of a light story week this week, I felt. I don't know about you guys, but there wasn't too much going on.
No, there wasn't much going on. The calm before the storm. Yeah,
just the normal rubbish. There's obviously iPhone 5 rumours and release date rumours, and I don't know, I just don't even bother with them anymore. Just, wait till they're...
Because it's just rumours. It just doesn't mean anything.
That's right. Just wait till they're there and, and then we'll tell you. Microsoft unveils the $40 Windows 8 upgrade. Now, as you know, we've said before that if you buy a Windows 7 machine, you can upgrade for $15, within the pre-buy period here. Before, buy a Windows 7 machine now, upgrade for $15 to Windows 8. But apparently now, Microsoft has unveiled this $40 Windows 8 upgrade from XP, Vista, and 7. So that for those machines...
That's not bad.
Yeah, so for those machines that were bought outside of the this update, or the period, the deal kicks off when Microsoft launches Windows 8 later this year, and it offers the most advanced retail version of Windows 8 Pro as the upgrade. Its announcement follows the one, as I said before. So that's not a bad deal. The deal is likely to be good through to 31st of January next year, 2013. So surprisingly, there are still XP users out there. Because there's another little article that I grabbed because of that. But so I can't see why you would not want to upgrade to Windows 8 if you had an XP machine.
Well, I've still got two XP systems. One was the Media Center and one's my netbook.
Yeah, so are you happy with XP or are you going to upgrade?
Well, for the netbook, I couldn't. It barely runs Windows 7, so I couldn't really see it being successful running Windows 8. So it's pretty much got to stay XP.
Yeah.
The Media Center, I don't know. I have to play with Windows 8 a bit more yet.
What sort of specs is your little netbook?
It's one of the old Asus EPCs. The thing's bulletproof, completely reliable, and it just keeps going. But obviously, it's getting old now. But still, it's It seems a waste. It seems no point wasting a perfectly good machine. But it'd be interesting. I might put Windows 8 on it out of curiosity, see if it actually works. I don't even know.
Yeah, well, I've got Windows 7 on my laptop. When I bought it, it came with XP. And look, Windows 7 ran extremely well. And as you know, I've just recently put the Windows 8 pre-release version on it, and it's running extremely well. And this is on an XP machine, so it's only a little laptop. It's not the fastest thing in the world either. I think it even might be about, doesn't say what it is on the front here, but I think it might only be about a gigahertz processor. 1.6, sorry. I think it's a 1.6. Would that be right?
Yeah, my netbook's a 1.6 Atom.
Yeah. So, you know, if it's got XP on it, you'll be right. But according to Net Applications, a US firm that tracks browser and operating systems operating system use by monitoring the number of unique users who visit 40,000 websites of its customers, Windows 7 is powering 41.6% of computers, and Windows XP, which is 11 years old, is powering 43.6%. So XP is still is still out there. It is still popular and favourable, but that's Windows 7 is expected to overtake the XP this month. So XP, see you later.
Well, yeah, I mean, mainly because I think they're ending support, or they're about to end support for XP. So that'll. But then again, I mean, look at a lot of government agencies, for example. Their entire rollout is still XP because they've got a base system or their dumb terminals, and they all run XP. They've got a preloaded, all on. They just ghost everything on there, and they haven't got to worry about it because it not works. So I guess a lot of that statistic is corporations and governments, things like that.
Yeah. Well, that's right. A lot of governments and businesses, they're hard to move along. Well, I suppose it costs them a lot of money, doesn't it? All these licenses. So So why would the businesses and that? Why are they keen to upgrade to Windows 8 if they've already gone to Windows 7?
Especially when you consider a lot of them would be running the Cisco dumb terminals and things like that, which are really low spec, like they're 300 and 400 megahertz processor dumb terminals. For them to go up another operating system, they've got to basically refit their entire operation. So, I think that's not going to happen, at least not for a while.
Yeah. So anyway, I can't believe there's so many XP machines out there. To be honest, like we've got.
But look at Windows 95. I mean, Windows 95 hung around for up until a few years ago. It was still up in the top of the rankings regularly. So
yeah.
Sad but true.
It is sad but true. It is sad. It's probably all those machines that Steve Gibson's got in his little cupboard.
No, security.
He's got them all pumping away inside in the closet there.
Didn't he buy like 57 Blackberries so that when they die, he just uses another one, so he hasn't got to worry about finding something else?
I don't know.
Nothing like him, Steve Gibson, to keep up with what's going on.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him. But Eric, have you dabbled your little toes into Windows 8 yet?
No, not going to. Well, I did when they first came out with the what do you want to call that? The first developer preview,
the beta,
a year ago, the beta
or the alpha.
But I installed it. Don't like it.
Yeah, why is that?
I couldn't be bothered. The other week, I was actually going to say, you know what? I'll put it on. I've got a laptop here that's not doing anything, and I sat down. And I thought, you know what? No, I'm not going to do it. I just couldn't be bothered going through the hassle and trying to work out where the start button was.
Yeah. But you got to get used to these things. But I suppose
that's the other thing too. Like even with my systems here, all of my systems have a CD or a DVD ghost. So as soon as I've installed a system, got it to the point I want it, I just do a ghost image onto a DVD. So every couple of months when there's a problem, I can just format it, throw the ghost image on, and have a fully running system in 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's the way to go. Or look, my home server backs up as well. Backs up the operating system and the drive. Never had an issue. Never had to restore. So I guess it goes all right. All right. Let's. What else have we got going here? Anyway, you guys. I know, Will, you've just got home from work, so you probably don't have too many stories there.
Yeah, I've got a few stories. A few interesting ones. One's just a little bit funny. I don't know if you guys are aware, but the Google campus has statues at the front, and lately they've been of their Android releases. There's been ice cream sandwich and frozen yogurt and all the other Android releases. Well, they had a jelly bean statue, which was a really nifty looking little, jelly bean, I guess, full of baby jelly beans.
Right.
I had a couple of really hot days over there, and the head fell off.
Oh, no.
Just like the Android operating system.
Oh, no.
So that was marvelous. They, tried to.
Well, there we go. Jelly bean statue overheat. Loses its head.
it's you kind of feel sorry for them in some respects because.
Oh, yeah, they tried their best. Well, what was it made out of? What?
But it shows you how hot it was over there. Well, I don't know. Plastic, as far as I knew.
Was it made out? It was one big jelly bean or something.
But apparently the thing is, there's little jelly beans on the inside of it. And what's happened now that the head's fallen off is people are stealing all the little Android-filled jelly beans.
Nice. Well,
So-
it's Android's not the only ones that have been having a bit of an issue. Did you see the iPhone explosion?
No.
I heard about that.
Now-
Sounds like my media center.
Well, yes. Oh, hang on, I'm just going through my little stories here to see if I can find it. Here we go. Here it is. Now,
Yeah, wasn't a guy was walking down the street or something?
yeah. So I'll tell you about it in a sec. There is a video. I'm just trying to pull this video. I don't know how well you're going to see this, but he's just in his car. He's in his truck.
What happened? He just
Yeah, so
blew
this
up.
17-year-old had just exited his vehicle and he was walking to another destination when smoke started streaming from his pocket. The incident is the second reported spontaneous combustion of a smartphone this year.
Well, it wasn't very smart.
No, that's right. So, I don't know, is this a G-up? This is security
Yeah.
security
It
cam
just
footage.
happens to be a
Gotta
security
be.
camera right there.
Yeah. Look, he probably had bloody firecrackers in his pocket or something.
I'm sorry, but if that lithium-ion battery exploded in his pocket, he wouldn't be walking.
Yeah.
I agree, Will. You're right.
Yeah, so anyway, so that's that.
If you're unsure of what I mean, jump onto YouTube and look at lithium-ion explosions, and you'll see what I mean. They don't just smoke. They do smoke, but there's flames, there's fire, there's lithium actually burning, and lithium's a metal. So for metal to burn, you can imagine how hot that is. So I'm sorry, but that video is just fake.
Yeah, like probably the rest of them. But, so that's there. And look, I've got another... I think, Eric, you had a little Apple story as well, didn't you? Did you have an Apple story this
just
week?
just another rumor.
Oh, rumours.
apparently.
What rumour is
Another
this
rumor.
one? What-
Apparently, the rumor is they're prepping for a new tablet to be released in September, and this one will be a 7-inch tablet.
7-inch?
Yeah.
That's got something to do with
7-inch.
China or something, hasn't it?
Yes, it says here component suppliers in Asia are preparing for mass production in September of a tablet computer with a smaller screen than the iPad, and the usual people familiar with the situation said,
Right.
right? Two of the people said that the tablet screen will likely be smaller than 8 inches.
Yeah, right.
Well, in other words, 7-inch screen.
Yeah.
Officials at the component suppliers who declined to be named said this week that Apple has told them to prepare for mass production of the smaller tablet.
You know, a 7-inch doesn't work for me. I'm sorry. Smaller than...
Not for that. Not for.
Yeah, I think for
I've
an
got a
iPhone,
7-inch here. That's it, and it's just for reading.
Yeah.
I love
much.
my 7-inch tablets. I reckon they're great. I think they're the best size ever. But for an iOS scenario where you already have your iPhone and you have the tablet, there's no point. I mean, you've got your two bases covered. On an Android application, I think, to be honest, 7-inch works well. But I mean, I know Apple like, having multiple variations on things, especially with, you look at their laptops and things like that, they have the same laptop with 47 different variants. but I really can't see it being from a practical standpoint.
Look,
I mean, if they do, fantastic. But to be honest, I really.
Oh, look,
just
they'll
can't
sell like
see it happening.
hotcakes, and it'll be, a lot of people will buy them, but it's just not for me.
I'd rather see the iPad actually go to a more 16:9 format. Aspect.
Yeah.
And
I think that'd be more beneficial.
yeah, I don't want
Glenn,
to.
speaking of 16.9, mate, Glenn.
Yes.
I've just ordered a domain through your website.
Oh, good boy.
And it's, you're going to love the name.
What?
16by9.com.au.
Oh, as in 16x or 16by?
16by. The number 16.
Yeah.
by.
Yeah.
9. The number 9.
.com.au. Wow.
Actually, I'm quite surprised that hasn't been taken. To be
Me
honest,
too, mate. That's why I grabbed it.
Well, it is a .com.
You beauty.
Well, it is a .au. So maybe. What about
I
com?
guess.
So you got the AU or just the com?
AU.
Sweet. That's a good name. I like that. I like it.
There's our new show.
You can have it for
Now we need-
$1,000.
There's our new show. Now we need is people to come up with ideas on what it should be.
That's right. 16by9 people. Lounge.
Now,
Content, please.
I'm just curious though. I know we're getting a bit sidetracked here, but would a Apple tablet the iPhone obviously is already 16:9, but would the iPad work as a 16:9? I mean, it wouldn't be a 10-inch screen. It'd be either a 9.6 or an 11.4-inch screen or something.
yeah, look, I don't know. Look, I don't think I'd go any smaller than what they are. Like as you get older, your eyes get worse. You don't want smaller things. You want bigger things.
To get you the same real estate, you're looking at about a 13-inch tablet.
Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe.
I'm just curious. I just don't know how it would go. That's all. Because I mean, what's the not having either device? I'm asking you guys who have it. What's the actual experience difference between using an iPhone and an iPad in terms of the screen layout?
Well, the iPhone.
I don't know. The shape's different, obviously. I think the graphics and the usability is pretty good. That you probably don't notice the different screen size.
I mean, given that most things, videos, photos, websites, most things these days are designed for 16:9.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if there's any benefit going that way, or because you will have to have the tablet suddenly 13 inches long and be 9 inches wide to give you the same.
I see what you're saying. Look, Apple's obviously sunk about $600 billion into the design and the research.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah, that's what we've got. And look, I think it works. Look, I've got the smaller, different configured Android one now. I prefer the shape of the iPad. But anyway, talking about domain names, just going back to that, Eric, how easy was it?
Oh, it was pretty good. The only thing where it was slowed down was when I clicked to go to checkout.
Yep.
It took a little bit longer than it should have, but once I was there, everything was super fast.
So was the
registration from start all the way through was really quick, except for that bit when it goes to the gateway. But that was
PayPal.
only
the PayPal.
but that's a US thing.
Yeah, well, PayPal's
that was
just
probably 30 seconds, and then once you signed up on there, put all your details in, click.
Yep.
That was quick. It was just that between gateways. That's all. But
nice.
It wasn't a hassle. It wasn't giving me the errors or anything.
No. Well, that's just PayPal. I think it's like you log into PayPal anytime, and it's as slow as a
Yeah, it's horrible.
half-flogged donkey. So, just talking back talking about these domain names. Now, iPad3.com. Now, for the second time in 2 months, Apple has disputed ownership of the domain name associated with one of its products. And I fear for the third time once they get a hold of 16:9.
And Apple have got lots of cash, so come and pay my mortgage.
Show me the money. The company has filed a claim for iPad 3, so that's iPad and the number 3.com domain with the World Intellectual Property Organization. The domain, which is inactive.
News.
Yes?
Breaking news.
Oh, yes.
They have got the domain. They did get it.
They did. But
they did get it.
So they probably
now owned by Apple.
Yeah, it was owned. I've got who it was owned for. I've got some more here, I think.
Well, they took control of it, but I'm sure it would have cost them a little bit of cash.
Yeah, it's the domain which is inactive. So this is where it gets easy, isn't it? Like, you can't domain squat.
Yeah.
I think
That's right, because you're squatting.
that's right. You can't just squat. So it was registered in January 2010 on the same day that CEO Steve Jobs introduced the first iPad.
Yeah, see,
in
he's just squatting.
San-
He's looking for money.
Yeah.
I've just posted the news link up into the chat there, into the Google chat.
So like you guys, if you want to go follow through these stories as well, either live or off the YouTube video or wherever, show notes always up at the AussieTechheads.com.au website. Just look for show notes and you'll get them all. This is where they're coming from. So last month, for example, it was asked for, then was granted control of iPhone5.com, a domain that was used to host a discussion forum devoted to smartphones. So that one was in use.
Obviously, iPhone 5 is coming out.
Yeah.
That pretty much confirms it.
Yeah, in November 2011. But how does it go, like, iPhone5.com? They've probably had to come from the angle, because that was being used as a bulletin board or something. So they've probably come at the angle.
Then they'd have to pay money. If you're squatting, you probably they'll get take it off you. But if you're actually using it,
but then these guys would have been infringing copyright using iPhone. So maybe they've come at it at that angle. Can't use it because
true. You can't use the name.
But hang on. If you're talking about copyright, today a Chinese court has stated that Apple Incorporated has agreed to pay Chinese companies $60 million to settle their infamous iPad name dispute. In 2006, Apple purchased the Taiwanese rights to the name iPad from the company ProView Electronics. In China, however, the trademark name was still owned by ProView Technologies. Since 2011, ProView Technologies has battled Apple in the district court over the name. So they never actually owned the name. They never actually owned the name iPad. They had just paid to license it.
Yeah, right.
Someone in the legal team screwed up on the crossing the T's and dotting the I's, because that supposedly was supposed to go through. And something, a document, and they signed it off away, and they went, oh shit, we didn't do this. So they had to pay money. It didn't belong to them technically.
$60 million it cost them, which is like 11 seconds trading. But
well, yeah. Well, think about it.
But
now
apparently,
they can start selling iPads in China. They'll make that in 5 minutes.
That's right.
At the opening of the next store.
But apparently,
I'm just curious.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I was going to say, apparently that Chinese company, it was called Szechuan Taiwan or something, but apparently they got their 60 million, but they were originally asking for 400 million. And they actually decided on 60 because they had bills to pay. They obviously really going good, you know.
Legal bills.
Yeah, so,
legal bills, 59 million.
So they had to 0.9, and they had to they had to settle because they need the money. But in November 2011, Apple was also successful in a bid to acquire iPhone4S.com and 7 other URLs with the iPhone name in it. So that's a copyright issue there. That's why they've got those.
Yeah, you can't use the name of a product in your own unless you own that product. That's right.
And several of which included phrases such as porn, sex, and XXX. Other domains that have recently been transferred to Apple's control.
So they bought iPhone 5.XXX. What? I'd like to know what they're doing on that website with the phone.
Well, wouldn't we all?
It's a link to flash-based porn.
Yeah, that's right. Jesus Christ.
They've also had claims with the World Intellectual Property Organisation for names that include applestore.com, misspelt with one P. Which was they awarded it to Apple on May 30, and 8 URLs with possible misspellings of applemusic.com, which all went to Apple on June 4. So,
right, good.
Yeah, good stuff.
All right, now, since we're on the topic of morons, I've got a story here.
Yes.
The RIM, Research in Motion, or Research No Motion, the CEO, the new CEO, Thorsten Heinz, says there is nothing wrong with the company. I'll read on. Despite internal turmoil, massive fiscal losses, and plummeting market share, RIM CEO Thorsten Heinz believes there is nothing wrong with the company as it exists right now. Heinz pulled double duty as the public face of BlackBerry on Tuesday, appearing on a Canadian radio morning show and then penning an opinion piece in the Globe and Mail newspaper, pushing against a recent wave of negative news. Heinz emphasised that good things are on the horizon for RIM and its customers. I think it's time to get your butt out of the dark area. I
know. Extract the digit. And look, you've just spent another couple of $1,000 of Steve Gibson's money. I think by doing that, I think he's going to go and buy another 57. All right, now we're going to go and listen to Garth in a sec, because I think the Google Hangout has failed. It's reloading, but we're going to go and have a listen to little Garthy boy, and we'll be back after Garth, obviously. G'day everyone. This week we're bringing you some news, some hot off the press news. Well, maybe not so much hot off the press, but
it's lukewarm off the press news.
It's lukewarm, but you know, you may not have noticed, but if you tried to listen to podcasts on the iPad, you may be disappointed. Why can't you? Why can't you find them? What's happened? Until you find what app are we looking at now, Garth? Everything's changed.
Well, iTunes aren't going to do podcasts anymore, are they? Apple's just decided that podcasts are, not making enough money out of it.
Dropped them like a school case.
Completely gone.
No, that's not true. That's not right. No, they wouldn't do that to us, would they?
I hope not. I hope not. So, no, they've actually moved the podcasts out of iTunes. So, out of the music app on your phone or on your iPad. I didn't think a lot of this was supposed to happen until iOS 6 was released. But right now, on your iPad, there's no iTunes U, and there's no podcasts.
Yeah, so if you want to listen to if you're on your iPad, now apparently Garth, it's still on the iPhone,
yes,
but it's not on the iPad.
It's still there under the More tab. So in the music app, you had to go digging to find your podcasts. You had to go into the More tab, and the bottom of that was podcasts.
Yep.
And iTunes U, and they're still there. You can also download the independent. Now you can get the app for podcasts as well. A while ago they released the app for the iTunes U, but now they've got the podcast app as well.
All right, so nowadays you've got to go to the App Store, download the Podcasts app.
That's right. So I guess when Apple do release iOS 6, whether or not they will include the podcast app as one of the default apps that comes installed, frankly, I doubt they will. I don't know.
They should.
They should, but I think it's going to be, unfortunately, something that people are going to have to go and grab if they want to listen to their podcasts. That's of course, if they're not using one of the other dedicated podcaster apps.
But why would you think that would be?
Why have they moved it out?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's nice to start to de-bloat that a little bit. It hasn't helped with the, iTunes on the PC or the Mac. That's still just got every single thing happening in it. It's just huge, slow piece of...
Yeah, but that's all right.
Annoying app. But I guess it's good on on iOS that they have started to move those things into independent apps.
So look, there's two different layouts. There's a different GUI for the iPhone and a different GUI for the iPad.
Yeah.
And look, the iPhone one looks pretty sexy.
Yeah, they've gone for a bit of an old-style radio look to it a bit.
Yeah, and then you've got the iPad one, which obviously can get larger graphics and just looks a little bit different as well.
There's a lovely little thing that with the iPad where it'll show you a reel-to-reel tape deck when you're listening to audio.
Right.
And so you just do a swipe up and there it is, and the wheels as you listen through a track, the tape moves from one side through to the other.
Right. Yeah.
So,
nice.
Yeah, it's a bit gimmicky, I guess, but it's nice.
Yeah. So if you're wanting to wonder where's my podcast on the iPad, that's what's happened. You have to go down.
Go grab the podcast app.
Go down.
One thing I liked about it actually, when I installed the app, it automatically knew what podcasts I'd subscribed to within iTunes itself.
Right.
And it was all set up, ready to go. So I think you need to be on the latest release of iTunes as well for that to work. Yeah.
So there you go. So the requirements for the podcast app. Surprisingly, would you say iPhone 3GS? Back as far as that.
There you go.
Or the as Garth said, 5.1 or later. So thanks, Garth, and download that app because that's the way of the future by the look of it. So
seems to be.
Yeah, if you want to keep listening to us on iOS, download the free app from Apple. Bye bye.
Excellent. See ya.
Wow, that was special.
There goes Garth. Another good little podcast from review from Garth. Now, obviously, the podcasts are in a different location now with the iOS devices. Now, just going to try and wait for Eric to return. We had a little Google Hangout crash.
Google had a fantastic error. It actually said, "This is a fatal error. All our servers are busy." I didn't even think that was possible.
Well,
all right, Google. You Googled me.
Yeah.
Everything else Google was working fine. Just the Hangout Well, there you go.
It's
It was
Stephen
recorded-
Conroy. Conroy did
It
it.
was,
And I
it
haven't
was
even,
recorded live.
and I hadn't even got to bag the Google products yet.
Yeah, I know. God help us.
they must
Preempting, see?
they must have read the show notes. Damn that Google. All right, so yeah, Eric, I was going to ask you. Garth just reviewed the podcast app for the iPhone, and
iPhone, yeah.
yeah,
I'm using it, yeah.
yeah, good, bad, ugly.
Oh, look, it's not bad. It's a little bit slow, but that might be because it's running on the iOS 6 at the moment. I think it's available for iOS 5.
Right.
And that's obviously a little bit more robust and stable than iOS 6, but it is very good.
Yeah.
The one thing I don't like about it is that when you open it up, it looks like they've copied Microsoft tiles. You know, the
Oh,
tiling
okay.
setup?
Yeah.
I'll hold it up to my camera. I don't know. I hope you can see this. Hang on a sec. It's a bit slow. Catalog. Hang on.
So they've.
I know this is. This is good audio.
Yeah, but as Garth mentioned, you can't just go through music and then choose podcasts from the music app anymore.
Different icon altogether. Correct.
It all still syncs up the same. It all syncs and
Oh yeah, it all syncs up the same
and does everything.
The one good thing is you can subscribe directly from the app itself.
Oh, okay, right. Because I've only got the iPad, as you know, and I don't really listen to the podcasts off of that.
No. You'd off the phone you would, but not off the. I don't put any podcasts on the iPad either.
No, so the only thing I do with the iPad is I might sync the last 3 videos or something that I'm interested in, and then I'll either AirPlay them or I can just watch them on the pad, wherever I am around the place.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's good. I think. Look, I had another Apple story here while Eric's trying to get that.
I'm trying to get this up, and it's just there we go. Here we go.
Hang on.
Don't know if you can see that. No, it's too bright.
Yeah, but it's a bit. It's the. Oh yeah, it actually looks like the.
It looks like a Windows phone.
But more disturbingly, shall we say, it might actually look like the Google Store, the Play Store.
Oh, good God, no.
Yeah, it does. That's what I thought
Yeah.
when I saw it.
Yeah, so it looks like everything might be going square. The corners are being squared off and no more roundness.
Yeah, everything's squared on. There's no more rounded icons. iPhone 5 might look like a piece of pus.
It might
not
be a brick. But anyway, Apple Nextbyte. Now, everyone's heard of Nextbyte for sure.
Yes.
If before the Apple stores were around, Nextbyte was the place to go, place to hang.
Have they bit the bullet?
Well, I don't think they're going too good. They've been in inception. They were incepted or created or whatever in 1995. They're going to rebrand 14 of the existing stores into Apple-branded stores, adding to those already refurbished in Townsville, Mackay, Rockhampton and Cairns.
What does that look like? Nextbyte are pretty already Apple-branded because the only thing they sell is Apple.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
But stores would not lose the Nextbyte branding completely, but the outlet's fit and fixtures would mirror the interior design of an Apple store. So Nextbyte branding...
So they're going to have a copyright problem on their hands too, are they, for copying a store design?
Yeah, look, I think this would be all kosher. This would be kosher. Apple and these guys have been in bed for a while.
A long time.
They've flown the flag for before Apple had the stores over here, at least. Like even I've heard of them.
The fact that Apple has opened up an Apple store in every suburb that Nextbyte exists, that wouldn't piss them off much.
No,
well, never mind. That's all right. That's how you treat your long-serving distributors.
Well, that's why I think that they've probably been given the okay to to rebrand and to make it look like an Apple store and and just move on. Nextbyte's Broadway Sydney store, which you might be familiar with, Eric, was meters away from the new Apple outlet, which opened.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
they did that in Chatswood as well. Yeah,
and it will be rebranded and relocated to an as yet undecided new location in Sydney's inner west.
Yeah, so you have to go somewhere where Apple isn't. Not going to get any traction at all otherwise.
No.
The Nextbyte store in Chatswood actually closed.
Yeah.
Within weeks, months of Apple store in Chatswood opening a couple of years ago.
Well, it'd have to. But I mean, well, we've got up here now Domain, and they're calling that, the next to Harvey Norman, isn't that his wife or something, Domain? Well, they're calling it an Apple store. I haven't actually been there, so I'm not actually sure if it is.
They're what? Start again, they've gone what?
They're calling it an Apple store. I'm not actually sure if Apple has actually opened a store there, or they've just...
Oh, an Apple store, an Apple area within Domain.
Well, they've always had that, But look, I'll have to go and
Right.
check it out. But no, as far as I'm aware, they're calling it an Apple Store, which I'm not sure of what's
It's
going
probably.
on. But yeah, anyway.
I think Jerry's pulling the long straw there.
Oh, Jezza.
Jezza, what are you doing?
Jezza. Now, look, here's a little quick one. Power boards. Now, if we all know and love power boards. Well, the ACCC has ordered the recall of a range of of Australia SETI electric power boards, spelled SEDY, due to their potential to administer an electric shock. So God knows how you're going to find out if you got one of these, unless you just bought one.
Put your finger in it.
No, it's pretty
If you
easy.
don't wake up, take it back.
All they did was on all new power plugs, they're required to have the top half plastic dipped so that you can't, as you're pushing the plug in, your fingers can't contact the pins as it contacts the power circuit. And all it is the pins on the board aren't plastic dipped. So you're able to technically make contact with the pins as you're plugging it in.
Yeah, okay. So
That happens quite a lot. They just miss a batch or something like that. It happens on a lot of devices. Then they have to do a full recall and change the cords.
So the affected power boards were sold at Melbourne's SETI Hardware in Ferntree Gully, Notting Hill, between 1st of July 11 and 1st of January 12. Models and so more information, just go to the show notes if you think you might have bought one of those offending ones. Save yourself getting a nasty shock. And another little quick one. Virgin Mobile is going to launch the 4G service this year also. They've revealed plans to offer LTE services in select capital cities, piggybacking on the Optus plans. Whoopie-doo.
Oh, there you go. There's the rub right there.
There it is.
There's the rub.
The mobile carrier, a wholly owned subsidiary of Optus. Well, I wasn't aware of that. Will offer the services on the day of the Optus's network.
Isn't that who you're with?
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. How's your reception? Just hold up your phone. Just quickly have a geeze. One bar.
Oh, let's have a look. 2.
There you go. Move on.
Okay, you won't see it there, but you might see it there. But anyway,
Yeah, our FPOS machine at work uses Optus, and it's hopeless. You get on a valley, in a car park, in a garage, behind a wall, under a tree, you lose signal.
Yeah. Well, that's it. It's just so dumb.
So, the network will be built in Adelaide and Brisbane from next year, but the telco is still undergoing a tender process for a network vendor outside of Newcastle. So that's,
pick me.
Yeah, why would you bother?
No, thanks. Why would you bother?
That's right.
If you want to start at the top and work your way down to the bottom, go Optus.
And now, look, anyone else got story? What else have you got there, Eric?
I have got a little. You know how last week at the Google I/O, what does I/O stand for, by the way?
Input, output? I don't know.
Internet only?
Well, that's normally what I/O stood for, actually. I've never really gone into it myself.
Well,
Yeah,
whatever it is.
no, that's what I always thought it was.
You know how they were banging on about their glasses?
Oh,
the Google
yes.
Glasses.
Yep.
Well, Apple may challenge Google with a wearable device.
Oh, dear.
Oh, God. But it's not just rumor. A patent has been lodged and awarded for a wearable display device, the wearable display device that certainly sounds, and at the very least, similar to Google's Project Glass.
But how can
There's
they... how can
There's
they
a picture of it there.
They're Apple. They've got a friend in the patent office because they put their patent in yesterday. It got approved today, and Google's still waiting on theirs, and they put theirs in 3 years ago.
Well, I don't know how long they put it in, but it was
That's
awarded.
how it works.
But that one
It
there...
was awarded on Tuesday.
Isn't this one in
I
here...
don't know when they put it in.
So this one that we got here in the picture, is that the
That's
Apple
the
one?
Google one.
Yeah, that's the Google one. Yep.
Yeah, and only the glasses is for sale
Oh, that's a shame.
in that picture.
That's a shame, a damn shame. I think I might have one more Apple story here because Google Nexus. Now, Apple's going to town on Samsung.
Can them too. Can them as well.
Yeah, now look, I've got a little thing here, little story here somewhere, and
Yeah, I don't know which story you've got about that, but Google is stepping in on that one, if it's the latest one.
this is that Apple has successfully won the first step of a legal battle to keep Samsung's Galaxy Nexus smartphones off US shelves.
Yeah, apparently I read somewhere that they've actually stopped selling them online at Google, and what they're doing is they're updating the software so it doesn't impinge on the thing that's keeping it banned, and it's the lock screen.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. But apparently, Google's going back to Apple saying, hang on a minute, you don't actually own the patent to that. It was done by Motorola or somebody 20 years ago. So I think actually done by Microsoft back when they first did their flip laptop tablet-y things.
Oh, yeah.
So
we'll see how, I don't know how that's going to sort out.
So the actual patent that they claim is an infringement could possibly be an infringement. So Google's taking Apple to court saying they don't own the patent. So then any action on that patent would be on hold until it's discovered whether or not they own that patent.
What a joke.
Where Google's got a problem, where Google might have a problem is the fact that Apple have been using that lock screen, unlock screen for 5 years and no one has challenged them. And the patent law in America is if you don't challenge that patent, you lose it.
But what's the time frame? Is there
I don't know what the time frame is, but it's been 5 years, so it might be long enough.
Yeah, but Android's been using it since the first version of Android too, so that's why I don't understand what the deal is.
Well, how else are you supposed to unlock a phone if you can't?
Oh well, Android, you don't bother, just smash it on the ground and it's unlocked.
I had a old, I think it was a Motorola little black and white thing you needed a stylus to use, 10 years ago, and it was swipe to unlock. So
take one and swipe.
Yeah, who knows?
So I don't know.
But
well, that'll be an interesting outcome actually. And when the decision comes down, and regardless of which side it comes down on, it's still going to be very interesting reading why they made that decision, because all the facts will come out then of who owned it initially and who didn't or whatever, and it'll make good reading regardless of who wins this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is just a week after the Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1 was banned in the US, where Apple successfully campaigned on Friday to have the Galaxy Nexus temporarily held from sale in the US, blah, blah, blah. The preliminary ban in Australia was overturned locally 2 months later, but a final ruling is yet to be issued. So, yes.
Yeah, well, see, that final ruling can't go ahead either until this other thing gets sorted out. So it's just ridiculous. It really is.
Gets a bit crazy.
I like
Seriously,
it. I like a good fight.
All it's basically saying, as far as Apple's concerned, is the only difference between their product and the Samsung product is their lock screen. That's the only thing they're scared of. I mean, what's that about?
But what does Apple want?
You know what it is? It's more. I think it's more about the niggle. It's just niggle. They're like a couple of 17-year-old schoolboys fighting over the same girl.
Well,
they just like the niggle because Jobs was so dirty on what's his name, Eric Schmidt.
Yeah.
I think this is all niggle. This is personal. This has got nothing to do with anything.
Because Apple obviously doesn't want like any type of licensing fee for this type of thing. Like, they got so much money anyway.
No, they don't like licensing fee. They don't believe in it. Whereas Microsoft are quite happy to go, you know what? That's fine, because Microsoft now get something like $5 per every Android device sold. Right. On a licensing fee for a patent infringement that over 2 years ago or something.
Yeah, right.
And I'll tell you what, if I could sit on my ass in Bermuda and get $5 for every Android phone, I'd grab it.
Yeah,
but
wouldn't you?
Motorola are the same. They got patents on half the chipsets. Texas Instruments. That's how technology works. You pay somebody, you use their technology.
Yeah, that's it.
You don't.
Look, that might change. Tim Cook's a little bit more open. So again, it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
But is swiping a screen good enough to be paintable? Like, it's pretty,
well, that's it. We'll see.
That's a bit.
We'll see.
Generic, isn't it? Really?
Apple patent everything. They patent, an apple with a bright tape. They tried to patent I.
Yeah.
That's right. They did. Anything with the word I in front of it, they wanted it to belong to them. So I economy, I business,
Well, I mean, there's
Igloo.
Hyundai, the car manufacturer, have their range of vans. They have the iMax, the iMove, the i.
All their cars have got I. The i30, the i.
Yeah.
They're all.
Well,
all
the
their
i30
cars
is Mitsubishi.
Well, they've got a van that's called iLoad. So that
iLoad,
they should probably change.
Yeah.
Should probably change that one.
iPOS. But the stupid part is Apple was trying to chase all that, and it's like, well, hey, it's not even in the same industry, for crying out loud. I'm sure somebody's going to get an iPad confused with an iMove.
Yeah. I went out this morning to go to work, and I put my key in my iPad. I thought it was my car.
Yeah. I can see the confusion.
But I'm guessing that, like all big conglomerates and all big companies and all this sort of stuff, look, the lawyers, they got targets. The copyright lawyers employed by Apple, they got targets.
I suppose at the end of the day they've got to do it, but it's
Well,
it
let's
is
look
funny.
at Monster Cables sued Monster Golf and won.
That's stupid.
That's a bit crazy.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
Yeah, because apparently Monster Cables and Monster Golf were that closely related.
Well,
you couldn't
think
figure out
about
which
it.
one was which.
That's right. Well, think about it, Will. Next time I've got a TV and I'm hooking it up, I'll just put a
Take
club at the
with
back
the
of my
golf
TV, and I'm like, hey, it's not working. I don't understand it. I'm confused.
Now I know why my media center failed. See, I
right, you
used
had
a
a
Monster
golf
Cable
club.
instead of a Monster Club.
That's right. It all gets just beyond the joke. But look, it's something that probably pricks my interest a little bit. Maybe not too much, but a little bit. And I'm
No, it's enough. It's enough for a bit of a laugh. But could you imagine if whoever invented the first remote control on a TV, and I think we went over this a few weeks ago, all remotes have an off button, and a standby button, and a switch to a different, channel on the TV as far as look which output, whatever, and all. Whether it be Sony or Blowpunked or LG, they all, you couldn't for all all the tea in China, copyright or protect intellectual property, patent a remote control.
Well, I mean, does that mean Alexander Graham Bell, his estate, holds the patent rights to every single device, mobile device, hardwired device, because he effectively invented communications. So it's got to be like that. Every device that talks to another device in any form technically should be belonged by his estate.
Whether it's be him or Tesla or any of these guys, it's all prior art, right?
That's
it's all
it.
based on prior. Well, you know what, Will? That's right.
But
his estate does hold all of that. Could you imagine?
But don't patents move into a generic and therefore
they expire after a while?
Yeah,
but they can be renewed. They have to be renewed, like.
Well,
everything.
that's the thing, because
but then it's becoming like the Walt Disney
the Mickey
copyright
Mouse thing.
now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting at, because Mickey Mouse was supposed to expire after 50 years.
Yep.
And they extended it for another 50 years because it was such a beloved character. And that next 50 years is going to be up when another 30 years
or something.
Like, I don't know. It's close. It's closer than they want it to be.
Oh, of course.
And when that expires, could you imagine suddenly everyone's making Mickey Mouse movies and it's not gonna. They're not gonna like that. And, you watch Shrek, the movie, and they've got all these characters that have been around for 50 or more years. Hansel and Gretel was in there. Pinocchio was in there. Who was the others? There's
Jiminy Cricket.
Jiminy Cricket. All these characters in Shrek, no copyright. So they used it. The only thing that they can copyright, which is SKG Studios, is Shrek. That's it. But all the other characters, anyone can use them. Puss in Boots.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. But So what happens? But surely, as the Disney company still say, like a going concern. Well, surely they should be able to protect their interests.
Yeah, but the law is you can only have a patent or a product or a registered trademark or a copyright, whatever it is that Disney's got on Mickey Mouse.
Right.
But it was originally for 50 years.
Yeah.
And they agreed to it, and then they applied for an extension and got it.
You'll notice that's why about every 10 years they re-release Beauty and the Beast and they re-release The Little Mermaid, because just as the copyright and everything's about to expire, they do a re-release.
That's
so
right.
that
so
reactivates
they can say we're still using it. Look, it's still our product.
Yeah, Lion King comes out for 3 weeks on Blu-ray,
Yeah, exactly. Because their argument is, well, you have to renew it because it still forms part of our business.
Yeah.
Well, now another thing that we mentioned last week, the Google Nexus 7 is out, and look, it's coming to Australia. And
it's coming to stores, which
hang on a minute.
Isn't
it supposed to be online now? The Nexus 7 in Australia?
Yes,
this week.
This week, I think you can buy it through the Google Play. But the Nexus 7 will retail at major retailers, including good old Jezza and JB Hi-Fi, Dick Smith, and Asus resellers. Through blah blah blah, through certain resellers. $319. The announcement. Blah blah blah. They said,
wow. I'm sorry, I'm just reading that article. Do we have a Costco in Australia?
Yeah, we do. There's
do?
one in Melbourne and one in Sydney.
Okay, because they mentioned Costco. I thought that was an American-only thing.
Oh, no, they're in Australia now. They're massive.
The
They are
tablets,
massive.
the tablet is $20 cheaper directly through the Google Play at $299 for the 16 gig model. The Asus spokesman said the price increase was due to costs associated with shipping the tablet to Australia. Wow.
Oh, bull. That's crap. It's all made in China, and it goes from China to the US. It's the same distance as China to here. It's both 10 hours on the bloody plane.
Send them.
Yeah, because a container costs a lot more to send half full as it does full. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you know what it is? It's our ports in Australia are inefficient, and it takes longer and more costly to unload a container in Australia than it does in the US.
Probably.
That's probably true too.
But anyway, there it is. The 7-incher.
So you're going to get the 7-incher? Because you probably don't have a 7-incher. Probably could do with one.
No, I could probably.
I've got two 7 inches.
No,
you're lucky.
I wouldn't mind upgrading. Yeah, but no, it's. I wouldn't mind extending it to the 7. Yeah, but, no, it's yeah, no, I'm not gonna get one. I've already got that other Android one. I got the other.
So
week.
where do I get that from?
Well, from
Google
the
something
from
Google
the Play or through the bricks and mortar.
Oh, okay. Oh, here it is. Pre-order.
Yeah, but it'll be shipped this month. I think it's coming out.
Yeah, it's
okay.
It's been shipped, but it's basically waiting on. From actually what I've heard, they're waiting on customs to clear it. It's sitting in customs apparently.
Yeah, there you go. There's my point exactly.
There you go.
Oh, hang on. This is interesting. Hang on. Let's see. No, it's $2.99 if you order it from Google Play, plus shipping.
Yeah, and I think shipping's $20.
Yeah, so there's your $3.20.
And it's $3.19 for the 16 gig version from the retailers. So
yeah, well, this one's the same then, including shipping.
Yeah. But I understand that with a retailer why they charge $20 more, because to be honest, that would be the $20 the retailer gets, because Google's probably making not enough out of it. Apparently, they're making virtually. I've got a story on it here. Google came out and said, "Look, we're making nothing on it. We're making it to show you what can be." So I would say that $20.
Here's the cost here. It says the preliminary cost comes in at about $185.
Right.
So they're making they're making a reasonable amount of money. $90. $90
in the US. Well, but just remember it's only $249 into the US.
Yes, that's right. So that's right. So that's $184 US selling for $249. So they're just making slightly over $60-$70 on that.
Well, apparently, if you go in store, there's a $25 Play Store credit you get. Sorry, if you order it through the Play Store,
through Google,
you get a $25 Play Store credit, so you can buy other apps and stuff. So I guess that knocks $25 off the price, I suppose.
Yeah. Better than kicking the pants.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, Eric, did you have any more stories you wanted to? What else have you got in your little list here? Apple drops claim that Macs don't get viruses. I think we've done that.
We did that, but they've made it official now.
Oh, okay, right. Google goes head-to-head with 3D maps. Oh, Will, yes, you've got something there?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if you guys remember, about 12 months ago, I was ranting about the ACTA clause that they're trying to implement, which is the anti-counterfeiting trade agreement. Basically, what it was an under-the-table international handshake to basically make every country in the world effectively can be controlled by supposedly impartial, police force
government
to pull down any sites or any content or fine people for anywhere in the world for anything.
Don't like that.
Well, the good news is earlier today, I think it was earlier today, might have been last night, the UK said go away. So that was a good start, which probably means that we're going to follow suit. The European Parliament voted 478 to 39 to reject it.
Good.
So those 39 people have been named, and I'm pretty sure we're getting some nasty emails.
I'm pretty sure Australia's on that 79. I know you're getting it. Conroy would have been the first person to sign it, the creep.
No, Australia hasn't voted on it yet. Um,
Oh, that's right. They're still deciding how to get over there because all the votes have been taken up.
they're supposedly voting on it at the end of the month, but
don't rush. Whatever you do.
it's been going for about 4 years, 5 years now. So
Yeah, they're not happy
sort
overseas.
of no, but the biggest problem is now there's a couple of these other ones coming in. There's one called the Australian Law Reform Commission.
Yep.
Which are supposedly getting their 2 cents worth in now as well. So,
what are they reforming?
The law.
Yeah, well, according to them.
Well, they're making it. Yeah, they're not happy.
It's
They want to do the 3 strikes you're out business. They with
well, it's not even that. See, with the ACTA, they don't need that. The ACTA is literally
you can shut someone down on suspicion.
Yeah, and you don't need proof, you don't need authority, you don't need anything.
All you need is an accusation. That's so Orwellian.
Yeah,
that is.
Well, that's what
disgusting.
Yeah, and that's what most of the countries voted against it. And I don't know.
It's guilty until proven innocent. That's ridiculous.
Of course, the states, agreed to it, and a couple other countries agreed to it straight away. But what happened was, it was only about 18 months ago, it sort of leaked out into the public eye. And what people generally got upset about was the fact that prior to that, for 2 years before that, it was hidden. It was all this, underground thing. And countries like Australia have actually signed the treaty, but they haven't ratified it. But now the thing is they
must have signed it on Christmas Eve one year, so when everyone's on holiday, so that we wouldn't pick up on it. Pretty
much, exactly.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. They haven't ratified it because they're not game. Because what they don't realise is that they're based, it's not only going to affect every person in the country, it's going to affect the government as well, because it basically means there'll be no more government secrets, because if it's online, it's accessible.
Yeah.
That's right. Or I can accuse the government of spying on me or what other thing. And then suddenly it shuts down, the tax office website. Let's do that.
That's right. Oh, I don't talk about tax. I've got to do mine now. Now that's the end of the month.
Oh, mate, I tell you what, the minute it clicked over, because June 30 finished on the weekend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Monday morning, the emails, mate, the emails,
and you got smashed.
All my biggest clients are sending all their stuff in, and they're huge clients.
Yeah.
And it's good. I'm happy with that because more clients, the big clients come in early, more money for me.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And I tell you what, it's been non-stop.
Yeah,
non-stop.
Well, that's good. Lots of people making money. Good for all those accountants out there. All right. So, yes. Well,
I was just going to say quickly too. Was it over the weekend? We had the leap second to recalibrate all the clocks.
Oh, okay.
And basically it killed the internet. Reddit, Gawker, LinkedIn, Foursquare, Yelp,
Qantas was
Qantas.
But that's
so many websites just died because apparently one leap second just didn't mesh. Nobody bothered to.
Security.
Apparently,
would have been having a blood. He would have talked about that this week too, I'm sure.
It was just amazing reading. I won't go through them all now, but go through, just search for, leap second chaos or something like that. And it's just amazing the amount of drama it caused.
So the clocks went, what, forward or back?
20 forward.
The leap second was added to the electronic clock at midnight Universal Time on Saturday, with atomic clocks reading 23 hours, 59 minutes and 60 seconds before then moving on to Greenwich Mean Time. So that's what happened. They actually, instead of going 59, 60, 0, it went 59, 60, 60, 1. So that's actually what happened.
They skipped 1 second.
Yeah, well, happy to say the Aussie Tech Head server stayed up and running and pumping.
Well, I got a Alpha host who our radio is supposed to be through. Well, it doesn't work. They sent me an email saying, "Sorry, our website's been down for the last 48 hours."
Right.
And then they sent me another email today saying that the Australian servers still aren't up yet, and they don't know when they will be.
Oh well, let's get off them.
Beautiful.
That's why the radio hasn't been advertised lately, because it's not working. We've got to find another host for that. We're working on it. Well, I think that just brings us to the close of the show. So, any more? Unless there's any more, boys, you got anything else going on? Nothing.
No, I'm good.
Good.
Do you guys remember the old bricks from the 80s? The old Motorola brick handsets?
Yep.
Yes.
You know, there's a guy. He's remaking them as Bluetooth headsets for your phone. So you carry a normal iPhone or whatever in your pocket, and then you can walk around with they're $40. You can walk around with an old 80s brick.
You know what I found funny? You know what else you can do as well? There's this thing. It's so funny. Again, it's for the iPhone. You slip it in your car. It clicks into your car, and then you get those old what do you call it? The old telephones you pick up when it's
the
wide.
corded phones. Yeah.
Your corded phone, but the old style, really heavy and black one.
Yeah.
Plug that in, and you plug that into your iPhone.
That's pretty trendy.
Yeah, the old in-car phones. Yeah.
That's so funny.
That's funny. Yeah, all right. Well, that's I think that's about all we've got for tonight. So so thanks for coming in, and thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading. It's the Twitter is me at Aussie Tech Heads, Eric at Eric with a K Franco, and William at where are you, Will? Mr. Tompkinson. I think that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll do. That'll do for this week.
Now, don't forget, people, hosting.aussietechheads.com.au.
That's right. So if you go there, have a bit of a poke around. Look, there's a couple of things that I just got to tidy up on the home screen, but look, everything works sweet. As you know, Eric has already registered a domain through the show. That's how easy it is. Easy it is. So good on you, Eric. All right. So apart from that, go check that out, and we'll obviously see you all this same time next Thursday night if you want to watch us live, or you'll hear us on the podcast next time you download it. So until then, it's good night from all of us. Bye-bye.
See you.
Ciao.